So I was right about IL Danny Boy, and I want to play a clip from a video that I uploaded over 2 weeks ago. It was from my tier list that I made, and it's discussing how I thought IL Danny Boy was going to perform upon his release. And I think it's important to show this clip so that people know a little bit of context, because we're going to dive into some of the talking points I made inside of this clip as well. So let's go ahead and showcase that real quick. He's looking to be, and they keep doing this, I swear. Kafka came, Blake came. It's like they keep making the main DPS stronger and stronger. And I feel like they really are doing a power creep model. I don't know, I could be wrong. Imbibitor Lunae is looking to be stronger than every DPS before him. He's looking. And the reason being is because his basic attack multiplier is absurdly high. It is absurdly high. I had to say that twice. It's so damn high. And not only is it that, if we can find a way around his skill point greediness, which you can, there's definitely a number of ways that you can, plus the going twice up against the MOC allows you to set yourself up for skill point efficiency going into the next cycle. This man is a nuke bomb waiting to happen. I think he's going to be the new best DPS in the game. We'll see what happens. He's probably going to be up here. Now, with that being said, I did tell y'all he's an easy skip because you don't need the best DPS in the game. No matter what these nerds try to tell you, the fact of the matter is, if you have a Blade and a Kafka, you don't need him. You only want him. The collectors want him, right? The budget players want him. The people who can afford him want him. But you do not need another main DPS if you have Scylla, Kafka, Blade, Genuine. Like, if you have all these other DPSs, you don't need this guy. That being said, I think he's going to be the best DPS in the game. So with that clip context in mind, and now that I've had a hands-on experience with IL Danny Boy, and I've spent a large degree of time getting to understand all the mechanical tricks and intricacies of his kit, I can say that everything that was said in that video pretty much came into fruition. He is absolutely the strongest DPS in the game. If anybody's telling you that he's broken, that he's in a realm of his own, usually I'm one to fight the herd on that one, but in his regard, it's true. He truly is. He's in a realm of his own. The damage numbers that he's outputting at E0 with no signature light cone is probably the most revealing thing for me, because generally when people give a analysis on a character, they take in regards the money spent on the character and after E0, which is usually where I fight the herd on that. But this guy, I have him at E0 without a signature light cone. I have a light cone on him that is equivalent in damage, actually a little bit less performing than the Fall of the Eon in her to shop, which is completely free to play at S5. The damage he is doing is 400 to 500,000 in a single cycle, and provided with the context that he's going twice and he's done a level 3 charge, ult, level 3 charge. And the way he does this is you put an attack percent boot on him, and you have a dance light cone on one of your supportive units, and then you have a Ting Yun giving him a 20% speed boost. With this regard, the damage that he's outputting in that scenario is 400 to 500k, and not a single DPS in this game comes close to that damage, because he can do it again on the next cycle and then the next cycle, and that's over 1.5 million damage for a E0 main DPS. When we compare that to the meta analysis of every other DPS in the game, he just put an axe down the meta. He just put an axe in the Memory of Chaos. This dude is so cracked that the current Memory of Chaos buff is a skill point buff, because they can't touch any multipliers, can't give any damage bonuses, because he's already too strong. So what I'm here to tell you guys today is that, do you need IL Danny Boy because he's so broken? I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I said in the video had some merit. He is the strongest. He is going to be broken, and he is. But you don't need the broken DPS inside of a casual game such as Honkai Star Rail. The skill cap and the level of difficulty in this game is just not that difficult to where you need somebody this strong. So if you feel that pressure, rest assured you don't need them if you already have DPSs such as Scylla, Jingyuan, Blade, Kafka, Welt. If you have these people, you don't need him. If you don't, then pick him up. He is worth having. Some of you guys are newer to the game and you didn't get a chance to pick up some of these other DPSs, so having an IL Danny is an absolute W. But the problem that I have is the power creep. He has power creep the hell out of every other DPS, and not just by a little bit. He's completely blown them out of the water. But my problem with power creep isn't power creep. My problem with it is the effect it has on the community. When power creep occurs, what happens is the loud 1%, the meta slaves, start to raise the standard of what other DPSs should be doing based off of the character that just power creeped everyone. So what's going to happen here now is Jing Liu and Topaz are going to release, and these meta slaves are going to tell you that these characters are trash because they're not as strong as IL and Imbibitor Lunae. And that's because they don't know, or Imbibitor Lunae, they don't know how to have a nuanced discussion. All they hear is broken or trash. There is no very good, there is no good, decent, or mid. There's trash and there's broken in these guys' psyche. So what this is going to do is it's going to strike a pressure on you to not, or you're going to feel like you don't want to pull on these characters because of this loud meta slave elitist mentality. And it just breathes toxicity into the community with regards to pulling on characters that you want to have. See, I would much rather, the reason power creep is bad is because if there was a damage output that was pretty much relatively the same across all DPSs, then the only other incentive left for you to pull on future characters is going to be their aesthetic, their lore, their personality, the concept of the character, and how fun the character's kit feels, which these are all very good reasons to pull on a particular character, right? That is a good and healthy balance of characters, kits, and performances, because now people are only pulling on the characters that they actually like without the fear or stress of feeling like your character sucks. Now, I don't give a damn about none of this. I'm really so jumping into the mindset of a large portion of this community's, how they feel when they get a character. If the only thing you had to worry about was whether you just like the way the character is, or how their personality is, or how their lore and their aesthetic, then that is so much more healthier than having to worry about if the character sucks and you've spent all their resources on this character only for them to suck and be completely underwhelming in comparison to the other options in that character's peers. So yes, to reiterate again, power creep is bad, not because of power creep itself, but because of what it does to the community. So with all of this in mind, I guess the next question that comes to mind is, what are the solutions to help mend and restore the balance of the game? I think the problem is it's a very tricky and sticky situation. What I mean is, like, any buffs they add into the game will most likely buff Imbibitor Lunae as well, because the only problem he has with his kit is just skill point efficiency. And let's just face it, those problems are already solvable with the tools we have available to us in the game right now. Ting Yun is a great problem. You just have to get his ult up, and his ult gives him skill point efficiency immediately. Ting Yun fixes that problem. Bronya's light cone, that's free to play obtainable in the shop, fixes that problem as well. So how can you buff the other DPSs in the game without buffing Imbibitor Lunae? I think that is a lost cause. There's no getting around it. He's going to get buffed. So the only way to really fix the problem is to provide better supportive units in the game that are just going to be more of a benefit to other DPSs and just a small benefit to Imbibitor Lunae, because he's already good, right? He can't get that much better, and if he does, well, he just does. It is what it is. But what you can do is increase the value of the other DPSs in the game. But I'm not going to lie, there's always going to be some type of problem that's going to pop up, because that's what happens with these gacha games. They when you provide such a wide array of kits and different characters who do different abilities and different things, it gets to a point where no matter what you implement into the game, it's going to do a ripple effect and affect everybody and cause some kind of imbalance. If this was easily solvable, millions of gaming, well, not millions, dozens of gaming companies out there wouldn't be facing this exact same issue in their games, such as Diablo and a plethora of other video game companies. Anyways, this is the conversation I presented to you guys and wanted to have on your head today. As always, I hope I brought some good value, some good critical thought provoking conversation. Peace, love, and happiness, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.